It has been a very long permitting process. I believe that Charlie and I have learned a lot about being a responsible permit request applicant. We started the process in 2006. And we stopped the process when Charlie decided to salvage a farmhouse that was built in 1918 from down the street.
And I just want to be real clear, of course, we're talking about Charlie Crocker.
Oh, yes, Charlie Crocker.
Your
Yes.
partner.
My business partner, absolutely. Crocker and Starr. Right. It's the two most important components to making great wine, great grapes, and great talent. There you go. Right. That's my tagline for the day. So anyway, in 2006, we started the process. 2007, right as we were putting our application in, Charlie pulled it and called me and said, look, I've got this great idea. I'm salvaging a farmhouse, and we're going to change up how the application is going to work. Because the first line of application was going to be very, very difficult. And then the economy turned, so we stalled. We went into hiding mode, and a couple years ago, some of the people in the city council and building department said, hey, are you guys ever going to build that winery? And we were sort of semi-shocked. And so we picked up the project again 2.5 years ago, hired a team to go through the permit process. It took exactly 2 years to get the permit, and the permit was signed and approved August 2014. But the winery's not built yet, and then it's taken us 10 months of drawing. It's a prefab building. It's pre-insulated. So that's really, I believe, green and conscientious of materials, because it's not wood framing and it's not fancy, but it's going to be functional, it's going to be airtight, it's going to be clean. And those are really my 3 most important criteria for building this winery. And to make it look pretty on the outside, we will plant trees all the way around it. So we're not going to worry about, putting fancy building covering on it. And then there is one aspect of fancy, and that is that we would like to make the front door, the front entry of the winery, be a mock-up of the 1870s winery that exists on the property. It was James Dowdell's winery, and was an active producing winery up until Prohibition. And so Charlie has been saving a quarry of rocks down by the river's edge, and or cliff, I should say, because we're 30 feet above the river. And we'll use that to cover the front of the building. And physically, the address is 700 Dowdell Lane. And where we are sitting right now, Ray, we're sitting in our stone house, which is a mock-up of the Stone Place, which is the fancy name for the Dowdell Winery. So how's that for confusing? I know, my brain's having a hard time even saying it out loud. And then the farmhouse is our office. So that was restored. It was we put a fancy porch around it, and so to the north of this little stone house, I can throw a stone about as far as I can hit the front door. Grapes are like trees. They're deciduous trees, really. And so their roots reach deep and wide, and vines are very, very survival oriented. And I think that because of the way that Napa Valley looks, we've got mountain ranges sandwiching the valley. So the water, we have big aquifers. So we're very fortunate that we have enough water in the valley, most places in the valley. The mountains in some areas, there are dry areas. There are vineyards up on the western hills that have had to truck water for years. Yes, but those vines have been trained for deficit water growing. So there will be balance. I think we'll have a smaller crop this year. That will also aid to the balance. Any place that is, any vineyard location that's sort of resting on catchwater basin water is definitely going to need some assistance. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a really challenging growing season. It started off very early. We had a very light winter. We had bud break in February,
wild.
4 to 6 weeks early. And then the weather turned cool, right, for the most elongated bloom we've seen. We had the coldest May, I think, in 30 years. We had the driest winter in over 30 or 50 years. So there are a lot of changes for the growing season this year. And I think because we have so much education and we have expert viticulturists, we have UC Davis very close to us. And as we pool our resources and our knowledge and our experiences together, we'll be fine. But the drought does bring out blight. It has any latent viruses in vines are showing. So this is part of the challenge. We will lose some vines this year, and but that's the nature of farming. Farming is agricultural warfare.
I think I've ever heard of it that way.
Go to crockerstarr.com and call us at 707-967-9111. We can all help you with what your needs are.